Up to episode 43 of the Mainly Golf Show. We're here not to gossip about Tiger Woods' love life. We're here to look at his strokes gained stats. Isn't that right, Marv?
Strokes what?
Strokes gained. I don't know how many blondes he stroked. I don't know. We're talking
Yeah,
about
yeah.
golf.
Who's stroking
Um,
what? Anyway,
Heppel last week.
Oh,
I'm
it's
guessing
from
I
the
watched
crew
you, Marv.
now.
You want to watch the golf. Heppel Island.
Hello.
Justin Thomas. Would you say he was an unlucky loser to miss out last week, or was Victor Hovland a very deserving winner of the Valspar Championship?
I think you gotta give credit to Victor.
Victor goes as spoils.
See, like, I don't know who in the right mind would have ever bet on him last week. His game was absolutely in the pits, and then I was just loving the interviews of both of them. To be honest, like just how honest Victor was about how much of a fluke it seemed, even to him. And then JT is like any well established player should be, just completely honest, just like, yeah, I fucked it up. I'm just happy to be in contention. That was fun. Like, I've got enough money. I don't really care. I just want to win.
He said he
But
said it's really fun to be in the battle to win a golf tournament today. It's really fun to.
yeah,
It's cool. I think both of them on that point. Sorry to interrupt. Both of them come across as like really nice blokes. A little bit of personality, not boring monotone. Oh, geez, yeah, guys played blah blah. Just a bit of genuineness about them, which has been lacking, I think, in the sport.
yeah, it was great. And like, if you've got your life is sorted money wise, like why you wouldn't be like that, I don't know. But yeah, it was great to see from both of them of just how open and honest, and JT signing autographs for ages, not storming off in a huff and moaning about being behind a
Naughty,
tree on
naughty.
16 and having to, and throwing it away because he had a free shot lead with 9 to play.
He was definitely two up
Something
with
like that.
two up after the entering the 15. He bogeyed 15,
And 18.
18.
Yeah.
Yeah. But Victor did make two birdies in the last five holes to, bring it around. And we always said Victor in full flight, his ball striking is just phenomenal. He just needs his putter to get hot. And three straight missed cuts on the back of this. Marvy's been clipped in for Masters success. Some sure he took the 45 last week. Would you consider him as a live contender for the green jacket?
I wouldn't. Just, I do wonder if you see he had a tournament last year, didn't he? Where did he finish? Was it third in the PGA
And when
Championship?
Brooks won, he was
Yeah,
going to look at the bunker. It was
or something
awful.
like that, and you think, okay, has he found his game? And then suddenly fell off. So is this a bit of a 1 week? Because I said it going into the final.
Yeah.
Anyway,
Going into the final round, the leaderboard was very packed together. So I do wonder if Hovland and Thomas kind of came through the field, but what did they beat? So
You say they came through the field. JT, I think, he was on the cut line
yeah, after
and
two.
shot the low score on Saturday. Was it 65?
Mm.
And then followed up, he was 6, 7 under through
66.
how many holes. So class is class again and again. Head pointed this out last week. There was a big draw bias due to the conditions. I think he caught the poor end of the draw and had to kind of battle back. So I think two of them. I think they guaranteed Ryder Cuppers in September. You'd love to see them in another duel. Probably add Spieth and add a someone like an Aberg in there. You got a nice four ball. But yeah, it's been another good week for JT. He's been clipped in for Masters success. But there's been no big stories this year, right? You'd say, okay, Rory's won twice. Off the top of my head, I can't think of anyone. Aberg won Torrey.
Genesis at Torrey. Yeah, it's
Um,
all been Europeans, which is amazing. But
with Hovland, yeah, but there's been no storylines to go out the season so far. We're in. Is golf just waiting for the Masters to start now, and then that's when now we've started.
yeah, and then you finished. I've a lot of casuals.
Wait a year.
Like it's like Masters is clearly everybody's favorite or definitely on the TV ratings. So it's like, yeah, it starts and ends. And it was really good to see two, second tier golfers, like top talents, go at it on a Sunday. Like, that hasn't happened so far this season. It's been a lot of, Rory versus Sepp, and at a top tier and then a middle tier. But yeah, it was good to see two top tier guys go at it and be in contention. But I think as we talked before, there's no real characters in golf, is there? So it's very hard to make a storyline in a tournament such as the Valspar that doesn't have a major backing.
What does golf need then to try to recapture the imagination of the public? Is it just a case of Tiger's gone now, Scottie in, going to be the poster boy for the sport? Do they need Bryson basically? Rory, I don't think will ever be loved. He could win the Masters. He could win 4 majors. There are people out there who don't like the cocky little Northern Irish twat. It's not.
But that also pulls in ratings, right? Like, it's better than being bland. Like, at least there's an opinion on him. But yeah, I don't think there's anything possibly that could happen on a Sunday in a tournament like Valspar that would get somebody that's not interested in golf to tune in. Or
Tiger.
Yeah, because he said even if all the top live golfers that would have a PGA Tour card were eligible for the Valspar, you can't imagine that their field would be much stronger than it really was.
Wacky Neiman's not going to move the needle, is he? I know he's won twice.
Do you know what I mean? So yeah, I think you're still going to get those tournaments that are just going to the lower end tournaments.
Well,
I think it'll improve the other ones, the bigger ones, but
that's the game on to sort out.
the
PGA Tour moves on to Houston this week, where I'm still receiving counselling for Scottie Scheffler's near miss 12 months ago. He was one of, I think, 4 or 5 players in one shot behind the Steven Yeager, who played awful, so undeserving. He laid up at the short par 4. He laid up at the par 5. I think he won with. I think he shot like 9 straight pars on the back 9. Played the most defensive golf in the world. If Scottie Scheffler could hold just a couple of putts, he wins on the snaff. But fucking hell, Cheese Toasty was one shot behind. That's how shit Scheffler played, and we love Cheese Toasty. Yeah, it's a Houston Open. Rory McIlroy is doing his bit for the kids this week because such a stand-up guy, and apart from the big 2, he's 30 to on the field. Marv, is it a case of just lump the favourites and you'll have someone to cheer on Sunday?
I do wonder if the top 2 combined roughly 2-1. I think you get slightly better if you really shop around, but
you can't bring yourself to back Rory though, surely.
No, but I just think, as you say, really, both of them, one of their C games, you'd think should really be good enough. Somebody's going to have a a tournament of their life to a point. Yeah, it's one of those.
You're expecting like a Peter Malnati. You get your win and just keep your car for 5 years.
I'll say this: if Scottie and Rory want to be the players, or want to be considered in the top echelon of golf, historically, these are the tournaments that they turn up. They don't have their A game or their B game. They just win. It's simple as that. So
are you looking on the favourites?
No, I'm going to try and find some value somewhere else.
Why couldn't you back Scottie this year? So I've just said Scheffler 92 is a fun. If you can get on with AK bets, fair play to them. And I've gone in 4 times. Scheffler 92 is an unbelievable price.
I think I probably want to, or would probably try and catch Scottie when I feel as though he's hot, because I think he gets on a bit of a run. If his putter's on, his putter will be on week after week after week. I just think at the moment, I know that means that he'll go and win, and then the price will be even short of the week after.
That's what I mean. As soon as he wins that first one, he goes through.
I know that's the yes, but at the moment,
he's Scottie Scheffler is the same price the Masters as he is the Houston Open. Which one would you rather back him for? 92.
Yeah, obviously here. Great
Yeah.
course record, as you were saying. Off, he's got 2 second place finishes, not just last year, but in 21 he got runner up as
He's rookie
well.
year,
So,
wasn't it? Yeah.
and I think you said somebody had done an article saying that course history is very good around here, or an important factor more
Tony
than
Finau,
most.
second last year, one of the prior tournament.
So yeah, I mean, I'm not gonna back either of them either, but yeah, I did see on
Field.
365 you get 9-4 for them versus the field, and you're gonna have a chance on Sunday. I mean, if you've backing anybody like, and they're up against either of them on Sunday, you don't fancy their chances. Like even if with like a 2-shot lead over Rory, say start Sunday, you don't fancy them to hold them off at the moment.
You'd argue
I'm more
might be
scared of
worse than.
Rory than I am of Scheffler, which is
Yeah,
a bit
Rory's
weird.
got more of that swag and that aura. People just that JJ Spawn, God love him. As soon as that Players Championship went to a playoff and they had to come back the day after, JJ's fucked because he's having to think about that all night. And like, this could be this could be by one big shot. Yeah, fair enough. Fight. It's not a major, but it's the Players Championship. First tee shot when it hooked right into the trees makes bogey because of 17 in the drink. Fucking hell.
Yeah, the exemptions that you get for winning the players it's probably not far off a major, isn't it? So as you say, it's
Like speaking to Dave Chestnut, who's I think the 8th best darts player in the world. He says you just got to stay in the top 16. So if you stay in the top 16, you get invited to all the big tournaments. Yeah, like you said, have all the exemptions, and then realistically, all you need is like 1 or 2 big runs, cash 50 grand, cash 75 here, and you're there for
Yeah,
the
for
foreseeable.
the
It's
next
hard.
year. Yeah,
It's hard to knock you out because you're guaranteed to at least get an entry to the tournaments and get an opportunity to make money. That's what you win on PGA Tour. You're set for life. Just how like Charles Hall the third, I think he won a tournament back 15 years ago. I think he made $1 million 15 straight years after that without actually winning. Right?
yeah.
And then
It
he
says
puts off
here
to
that
live.
I think a 5-year exemption if you for the PGA Tour if you win the players, plus 5 years for the next players, 3 years for majors.
Yeah.
It's yeah. You're set for life.
You're set for life.
So
Rory is set for life.
well,
Rory,
JJ would have been winning.
JJ. I've also got a dick around with some each way money and looking at someone like not Rico Hoyt, I'm thinking to Kevin Moore, or I like the look of who the fuck is Doug Ginn. You're scrolling through and go, okay, that Bodigier, that South African guy, he could play well. Like Ricky Castillo
yeah.
played all right last week. What
Yeah, it's a bit of a complete
5
opposite
points each way,
this
Scheffler.
week.
5 points each way, Scheffler 92. Just look on. You can't finish off 5-5. That's me done.
Well, I'll say so. This course does seem to be a bit of a complete opposite to last week, like where it was extremely narrow. This one's wide, barely any rough. So and it's quite a long course when you consider it's a par 70. So I'm taking a few bombers down the list, playing for some place money, and an outside shot, very outside shot that they actually nick it. I'm gonna go back to Nikolai Højgaard, who seems to be a bit of my Keith Mitchell from last year. Every time I bet him, it just seems to drive into the trees every fucking time. But as I just said, he doesn't seem to have that issue. Nice open fairways, very little rough, no trees. So hopefully his approach game, which is really good, he's not going to be hindered by that off the tee game. So I'm going to go two each way on Nikolai at 80s, with 8 places. I'm going to go 2 each way on Victor Perez at 90s, been playing very well. Another big hitter off the tee. The rough, the lack of rough should help. And then 1 point each way on my long shot is Isaiah Salinder. He got 3rd in Mexico,
Who?
another course. Yeah, Isaiah Salinder. 3rd in Mexico
That's
behind.
like salad, man. You won't like him.
I do not like if he's the salad man. I was
I
tempted by
prefer cheese
toast.
toast. Eh?
Yeah, I fucking do to salad man. But this guy's he's very strong off the tee. And again, just that lack of rough, I think, a bit of a bobber's course here. And we've seen in the past that you don't have to be the greatest putter in the world to win here as well. With Kokrak, Jaeger, Carlos Ortiz, Finau, all winning here. Very, not known for their putting prowess. So those are my three for the week. Just taking long shots and hoping for a top 10 place.
I think he put a bodyguard last week based on his, I think, number one strokes gained Cedar Green, and he was awful. So
yeah, but there's no trees to drive into this time. So
I did back Nico Acavaria, who was leading entering the final round. I think final round, wasn't it? Jesus Christ!
Yeah.
And shot 5 over. So I think he could go well again. But I'll watch him from afar this week. Marv, we've got 420 left. Who are your picks?
Yeah, so I think that the last 2 weeks I have made profit in both the weeks, even though Lucas Glover was a tied 8th. I think my total stake for the week of 10 points returned 11. So to try and keep
your crypto results.
the streak going. The first selection will be Mackenzie Hughes. Yeah, I think he's had. He's got a bit of course form over the last 2 seasons around here. Tied 14th and a tied 16th, and actually going even a year or 2 back, he's a tied 7th in there. So he doesn't seem too bad an option to me. No massive conviction, but again, he's a reasonable price at 66. I think just trying to play for some place money, a bit like Hep. So he's the first selection. So 60-61, 3 points each way. And if the PGA Tour website is reliable, the course fit for this week, if I look at it, and you think, okay, Scheffler's probably going to be up there. Yeah, Scheffler is up there as the course fit. Scheffler's number 2.
Wins.
Like the player with the best course fit score is Harry Hall.
The guy does the Betfair long shows.
The guy who's got
he wears that
the flat cap.
Screaming, I can't have him. I'm sorry.
So and he's got a couple of, I think, tied 30 odd in the last couple of seasons. So why he's on that list of stats that the PGA Tour, but I'm going to trust it.
He was in contention here last year, and his ass went. If you look at the leaderboard, he was either in the lead or like one off with about 8-9 to play. Sky Rovers is making a big deal going to the Englishman. Yeah, but he wears a flat cap. Like, it's not even a flat cap, is it? It's
from Cornwall. Yeah, it's not really England.
The fucking Samuel L. Jackson. It's just not right. White people shouldn't wear a hat like that.
So anyway, he's the second selection. He's basically 80-1. So 2 points each way on him.
Marv most likely winner this week, Scheffler or Rory?
Honestly, I go with Rory just because he's hot.
Yeah, same.
Hep?
Same.
I just don't get it. I don't think Rory would be that arsed. I think it's a big PR exercise.
I mean, there's not that much about the charity this week. Like, it's called the Tuesday Hughes, Children's Texas or whatever it's called Open, but they don't do anything. It's never. They don't have any sick kids on the course. Like,
what do you want to do? Wheel them out, Hep Coin?
Well, they could be caddies. They could be driving around in the car. I think. Yeah, take a shot every now and again. Like,
lazy bastards. Look at them. Can't even get down on the greens.
Can't get up. Just collapsed. What do you think about Woods becoming part of the Trump family, Marv?
I read at the weekend, or heard at the weekend, should I say, that there was rumours that it was... Is it Don Jr.'s former wife?
Yeah.
That's literally all. So...
What a cringy fucking...
It is what it is. If I'm honest, I thought she looked a bit like Lindsay Vaughn.
He's certainly got a type, hasn't he? He
the
likes
skier,
blonde
the
milf.
yeah,
Yeah.
and I'm sure that when they split up, it was a perceived that they didn't want her, but the schedules just couldn't align. So she does look a bit, the new woman does look a bit like her.
The new woman, but it's the same Scottie. Scheffler this week, 9-2. Lump all in job. Scottie wins the Houston Open this week.
Put the shirt on it.
He's been heaven, he's been mad. We'll see you all next week for Genesis.
No.